Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It is fantastic that you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on the band Cheap Trick. And through their iconic song, The Flame, we looked at how good it is to be there for somebody else. So I trust you enjoyed that one. Well, we're going on to one of the female legends of the music industry today. In fact, she's regarded as the goddess of pop. Sherilyn Sarkinson was born in California in 1946. Now, she was part of a very famous duo at the start of her career, but has been very much a solo ever since then. And between 1965 and 2018, how long is that career? There's been 31 studio albums, and with her and the duo she was part of, 140 million albums sold. It's probably one of the most successful ever, really, when it comes to artists and their album sales. Hitting 100 million is a pretty good effort. She's at 140 million. Now, the last we're talking about today is Cher. Now, her first name is Sherilyn, so I'm just wondering where she got Cher from. It may well be. This girl is an absolutely iconic performer, and we're going to get onto her a little bit today. Now, there are a few clips below you will notice, and so there's probably a couple of ways you can go here. Option one is just to watch them all after I've finished. Or the second option is to bring up this video again and just have the clips ready, so when I talk about them you can click on them as you go, because there's quite a bit to talk about with Cher, and I think we do need to look at her as we tell the story. Well, the Cher story started with Sonny and Cher, and in 1965 we had the song I Got You Babe. This was a number one in the USA, and this pretty well put Sonny and Cher into as a household name. Now, there is a live version of this particular song in the description below, so that's where her journey begins. In fact, Sonny and Cher got so popular that between 1971 and 1974 they actually had the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. That was very, very popular on television and really catapulted them into stardom. They were the it couple in showbiz, that is for sure. I think maybe the pressures of success got to them both, and in 1975 they did divorce from each other. But as you will notice as I continue on, this is not the end of the Sonny and Cher story. Because back in even as early as 1976 to 1977, they had the Sonny and Cher show, and this is very much the duo continuing in their form. But while the music stuff was happening, the partnership thing was happening, Cher was starting to establish herself in her own right. And this started in 1984 when she won a Golden Globe for her performance in the movie Silkwood. And this was followed up in 1988 with an Oscar for her lead role in Moonstruck. And I actually have got below just a little bit of a clip from that movie. So if you want to see her in her acting stage, very well, that is there for you to have a look at. So Oscar award for that, for a lead actress in a lead role. So what was happening was that Cher was really and truly getting established in her own right as her own performer in music and in movies, as well as the television she had been doing. Well, in 1987, much to the delight of much of the world, Dave Letterman got Sonny and Cher together in the same studio, and we saw a reunion song of I Got You Babe, some 22 years after it became the number one hit. It's a bit of an interview with them beforehand, and then they do actually go ahead and actually sing I Got You Babe together, and that would be the last time that they ever performed that one together. That clip is also below. But as I said, Cher was starting to establish herself in her own right. And then in 1989, out came If I Could Turn Back Time. This came off the Heart of Stone album. And I don't know if you can remember the clip. It was on a warship, and it was surrounded by sailors, and she absolutely just captivated the whole clip, because she is stunningly beautiful, this lass, and she's not scared to try the clothes on and try different sorts of clothes as well. And so she came out in 1989 with If I Could Turn Back Time. And then shoot forward to 1998, and then Sonny actually dies in a skiing accident. And who was there to give the eulogy? You know, you'd think that Cher would think, well, I'm actually over Sonny, I don't need to be there. But she is the one that actually gave his eulogy at his funeral. And there's that eulogy, as a clip from that if you want to see that one as well. So it just goes to show that sometimes when relationships come into an end, there's something that lingers about it, and something that just kind of stays with you no matter what. Very, very hard for Cher to stand up and to give Sonny's eulogy like she did. She does it with grace and beauty and professionalism, which is what you would expect from her. Well, so she'd been going for quite a while, 1965 to 1998, 30 odd years, and she needed to reinvent herself. And in 1998, a song came out to provide her with that opportunity. And this is the song Believe. Do you believe in love after love? There's a bit of a question there that we'll come back to in a minute. This was a #1 song. It came off the album of the same name in 1998, and I've got two clips of this particular song. First of all, I've got the official clip. Now, Cher was responsible for bringing auto-tune into the world, and you can see how her voice changes in the chorus and in the verse. That happened by complete accident, apparently, but the world got changed forever because of what happened in this song. And then that followed up with the Believe tour. And she won a Grammy for those particular performances. And so I've also got a live version of her singing Believe as well below. So there's both the official and live version of those particular songs. This is the sort of song that if you go and hear Cher sing, you can't wait for this song to be one that she sings, and she sings it so well indeed. In 2003, she won an Emmy for the Cher the Farewell Tour. So she's won an Oscar, a Golden Globe, a Grammy, and an Emmy. Just goes to show how well Cher was regarded. But that's not all. It's all very good to be an actor and to do the shows here and there. But she also has a residency in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace. Now, you know that if you have asked to perform in Las Vegas, particularly at Caesar's Palace, you know you have made it. So between 2008 and 2011, she actually did perform for three years at Caesar's Palace. But the world had not finished with Cher quite yet. In 2018, she was honoured at the Center in the US for her significant contribution to the culture of US music. And in that particular honour, normally someone else will stand up and do one of your songs, and it was Adam Lambert, who of course has become famous for the new lead singer of Queen, not stepping into Freddie Mercury's shoes, but doing a good job of stepping into his shoes. And he did a ballad version of Believe. And one of the things to take away from this particular song is just how good the lyrics are, how deep they are, how thought-provoking they are, and how compelling they are to listen to. So when he stripped the song back to a very mellow version, you start to see how much power there are in these lyrics. Adam Lambert did just that as in a stunning live performance of this song, and you can see in the audience, because there is a clip of this one as well, that Cher is in the audience, and she's been absolutely captivated by this performance, giving Adam Lambert a standing ovation at the end. And then in 2018, and this is probably the last thing that she has done that I'm aware of, she did she came back as a grandmother in Mamma Mia 2 as a grandmother, and she sang Fernando. And you know what, there's just something quite compelling about when you put a compelling pop song with a compelling pop performer. It really, the world was almost hanging out for Cher to do some ABBA songs, and she came back in that movie, taking on that very fantastic over-top role of the grandmother. Now, Cher is over 70 years old, and I do have a clip from Mamma Mia as well. She's over 70 years old here, and she's still looking absolutely stunning. This is the thing about Cher. She's got a bit of a lower voice than normal, but she's been able to pick songs that actually capture her voice really well. She's got such power and such depth and such strength in her voice that she's just a captivating performer. You put that together with her looks and her legacy, she's just the all-round performer. So there's quite a few clips there below for you to have a look at. And if you have been working your way through as I've been going, good on you for doing that. But I think the takeaway from the Cher story about the fact that she very much has carved her own niche in the music industry. She's quite distinctive, Cher. There's really anyone else really quite like her. There's no one really with the longevity that she has had, and she has deserved all the accolades and awards that she has actually received. I think there's one question that comes out of the Cher story, and that's this: do you believe in love after love? As we see through the Cher story, even though she was divorced Sonny in 1975, she came back and did a eulogy in 1998. And then to come out with that song, Believe, I'm thinking there's just a bit of a tie-in here with her journey up till now, her journey with Sonny, her journey since then, and the fact that maybe what she's thinking is, well, there's a bit of love there still for him, even though things finished up the way they did. Can I believe in love after love, despite everything that has happened? And I think maybe the question we need to ask ourselves is, if you think love is finished with you, whether it's through death or whether it's just through a really bad relationship, maybe it hasn't. And maybe the door always needs to be open there for you to consider love again. It could be that you have the love of someone there already, and it could be that a new love comes and sits alongside of it. We don't ever disregard our previous experiences of love. We carry them forward with us in some way or another. And if a new experience comes along, well, it all just goes into our experience of love. And I'm just kind of thinking, even though I don't know Cher really, I'm thinking this is some of her story as she has shared it with the world. And it's quite nice to see that she had a very triumphant return with the song Believe, really catapulting her into the 21st century, well and truly. Well, I trust you've enjoyed this trip down at the Cher story a little bit. Apologies for the number of clips, but when you've had someone who's been in the industry for as long as this girl has, you've got to kind of give her a bit of a go, I'm thinking. So do you believe in love after love? That's the question of the Cher story today. Well, I trust that has all been an encouragement for you today. Well, if you've come back for another one, thank you very much for doing so. We love people that come back. It's great that you've come back. If this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, welcome to the channel, and please note the invitation below that if you would like me to look at a song, feel free to ask. And by the way, I've also included my last video from Cheap Trick. So if you want to recap on that one, feel free. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go to another act that has been around for quite a while, and it's just the band Chicago. So until then, I'll catch you around.